What's up guys, Kevin with On Point Pro Styles in Gainesville, Georgia. We're in my F150 right now, and I'm going to show you how I go about removing the rear view mirror. I have to retint the windshield on this, so I've got to take the old tint off and retint it. Now I'm gonna say, full disclaimer, I think they call these breakaway mirrors or something, but they have a really heavy duty spring that holds these mirrors to the mirror button, and they have been known on many occasions to break the windshield. So too much force or not doing it properly, or even sometimes I hear aftermarket windshields tend to be an issue. But do this at your own risk. I don't advise you to or not do it. There are ways to work around it. However, I choose to remove the mirror and tint it. I've removed quite a few of them and I've had no issues personally, but I will tell you, you run the risk of pulling the mirror button off of the glass, and it usually doesn't just separate from the glass. It actually takes a chunk of the glass with it. So like I said, this is my method. This is how I do it, and I'm gonna show you how. Okay, now few notes. There are tools out on the market that claim to make this easier, or it's specifically designed just for these. I've seen some people rave about some tools that's kind of up and coming. I'm not here to discuss those. I have one of the tools here. I bought it and it turns out I don't like it. I don't like the way it works. I don't like how you have to use it. So I don't use it. I have a different method. I have a different tool, some simple stuff. First off, get you a bottle of extra slippy slip solution. So this bottle I use for trouble windows like sticky glass and things. This has double the amount of soap in it than my everyday slip solution has in it, and I use it for that. I also use it for situations like this. Another tool that I found that works, this tool's from just a tool truck that I got it from, but I'm sure you can find something like this online. It's just a large pick tool. So it's really heavy duty, it doesn't bend, it works really, really good to sneak up behind the mirror and tilt that mirror forward in order to knock it off. I also have a rubber mallet that I use sometimes only when needed, and very gently and very lightly, and I'll probably have to use it on this. I've had this mirror off before, so I had to use it then, so I'll probably have to use it now. And then get you a rag. But so I'm gonna walk you through doing this, and then I'm gonna talk to you about the other options once we get this mirror off. This mirror is wired. I leave the wire on until I knock it off the bracket. In case it does pop off the bracket, it's got something to hold it from flying off into the truck or something like that. So let's do it, let's take it off. All right, so I'm taking my towel and I'm covering, this has a touchscreen radio in it, so I'm covering the touchscreen. Get something, protect your dash, the electronics in the middle of the dash, because then the first thing you want to do is take your extra slippy, soapy solution and you're gonna spray the button, try to get it behind the button onto that mount. This is probably one of the most important things. Next, there's a notch or a hole in the bottom of this mirror. That spring kind of wraps around the front of it and clamps itself to the bracket. So, and then there's a lip on the bottom of the mirror mount that snaps to the bottom of the button. So you're gonna pry the bottom of the mirror out just a little bit so that lip can clear the bottom of the button, and then slide it up. And there's a little bit of a trick to that, and I'm gonna show you how. So I've got my heavy duty pick tool, and there's a hole in the bottom of the mirror where a tool would go. And I've got it in there. So now you can see the mirror moving. So there's two things you gotta do here. Number one, you gotta move it out and get it to start, and then you gotta start relieving tension as you're pulling it out, because if you leave tension on it, it makes it harder to pull. So first and foremost, try with your hand, and then if that doesn't work, then you'll move on to a couple of light taps on the bottom of the mount while prying. Very, very light to get it to start. I would say if it doesn't start after that and you can't physically pull the mirror up and slide it off, give up, and I'll show you some other options. So we're gonna pry up. I'm gonna grab it by its stem. Oh, this one moved, look at that. So now I'm gonna release the tension and slide it right off. Simple as that. No major heavy duty hits or anything like that. And that's 9 times out of 10 how they come off for me in most Ford vehicles with these breakaway mirrors. So I had one occasion that one was being real difficult, and I literally kind of teetered on, do I keep going or do I stop? And the last small little rap with the hammer did the trick and it came off. So that's how I do them. And then now last, we unplug the mirror, we set it out of the way, and we do our work. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, or I'll tell you a little bit about a way to work around that now that we've got the mirror off. Okay, so a little better view here. Now that I've got the mirror off, you can see the button on the glass. Again, this is tinted. I got to remove all this tint. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this, and figured it'd be a great time to make a video. A workaround on these, especially the Ford trucks with this dot matrix section up here, what a lot of guys will do is when they shrink the tint on the outside of the glass or their sun strip, they'll cut out their mirror button. Now the mirror base is a lot bigger than the button, so you can kind of oversize your cut on the outside and not have to worry about it. They'll cut out their mirror button on the outside of the truck, and then they'll cut them a slip from the top of the mirror to the top of the windshield, creating kind of a flap here, a slit. And then when they install it without removing the mirror, they install their windshield tint, and then they'll use those flaps to wrap around the mirror. And then the seam is just right here from the outside of the vehicle, because of this dot matrix and stuff. You can't see it, and a lot of vehicles have this dot matrix. But from the inside, on the inside, the driver passenger, you could kind of make out a little bit of a cut right there. So if I had to do that, I have no problems with that. There's a lot of guys that refuse to remove the mirrors. Great, I don't blame you. All it takes is one windshield, is what they say. Same for me. But that's an option, and frankly a good one. But I've got this off. It makes it a lot easier to obviously do the job. So that's how I do it. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Tint Depot, they're my go-to. All the tint, the tools you'll need, check them out. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks.